This is Support is Sexy, episode 264. Embrace your MVP. Welcome to Support is Sexy. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I interview inspiring women entrepreneurs who share their wins and their lessons to help you take your business and your life to the next level and create something sexy. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. I'm excited to have you here. You know, it just would not be the same without you. And today I wanted to chat with you about your MVP. Now, some of you might know which way I'm using this. Others of you might be thinking about your most valuable player that I'm saying tap into that part of yourself that is the MVP in every game. No, that's not what I'm saying. MVP is your minimum viable product. Now, this is a term that I actually first heard when I was working at Martha Stewart. I was managing director of the digital department, and I worked closely with product development. Now, this is a term that's used frequently in the product development space. In fact, I think it's used mostly for software development, but a lot of product development people use it, and now it's getting, I should say, more well-known in other areas, especially of entrepreneurship. People know about it, but I think it's more commonly used, I guess you would say, in other areas of entrepreneurship and more broadly. MVP, the minimum viable product. Now, for most of us, the idea of doing the minimum might be counterintuitive because we all want to do the most, and there's reasons to do the most and be fabulous. But I have learned through hard, brutal experience the importance of doing the MVP. So what that is you create the essential product, basically the basic product. None of us want to be basic, but that's what this method is. Go with your basic product, not a bad product now. It's not an excuse to put out something that you're not proud of as far as what you're presenting to the world. It's something that you definitely know could use some improvements. There's some things that might make you, I don't want to show that. And people use the quote all the time from the founder of LinkedIn, who said, and I'm paraphrasing, if you're not slightly embarrassed when you first launch, then you waited too long. And I heard him in a recent interview say that he wasn't saying put out a shabby product. He was saying don't wait for it to be perfect. So your MVP, your minimum viable product, it's far from perfect, but it is a product that you put out there because you want to get feedback from your audience. So you create the essential product, then you test that product with your audience. Now, this is anything, whatever you are creating. You know, we're entrepreneurs, we're creatives, we have tons of ideas. You might be like me and guilty occasionally of shiny apple syndrome, always have a new idea, always want to create a solution, always want to fix something. That's just the entrepreneur life. But not every idea is a great business idea, right? So what you want to do if you decide, okay, I have this idea, I want to put it out there, see what people think about it, create the essential product, the basics, leave off the bells and whistles, do it so that people will get an idea of what it is that you're offering, service, product, whatever that thing is, and then test it with your audience. Your audience could be friends and family. Your audience could be a small group that might be interested in your product. So say you go to an organization or some other group that might be interested in whatever your particular product is. Let them know, hey, I'm doing a beta test on this. I would love to get your feedback. It's always a great way to survey people and say, this is what I've created. Tell me what you would want in addition to this or what you would want different from this. Even if that product isn't the thing you're going to go with, it gives people something to work with. So you're testing the essential product, the basic idea of what you want to create. Even if you have a vision of what you want it to look like down the line, your MVP is your basic product, your essential product, so that you can create it, test it. And then what I learned when I was at Martha Stewart, we used to do 2-week sprints. I'm not going to get into all of that and what that means, but basically every 2 weeks, there was a goal in some way to improve this basic product if we decided that we were going to move forward with it. So for you, what you can know in the back of your mind, because I know you want to be Miss Perfect, is know that you're going to iterate, right? You're going to add the bells and whistles and features based on the feedback from your audience. So create, test, learn from your audience feedback, and then iterate and get better and better and better. Because here's what we don't want to do. We don't want to guess what people want. It's better to ask. And again, this is things that I have learned the hard way, the brutal way, creating something huge that I think is a wonderful idea. And look, a lot of times we do have wonderful ideas, but a lot goes into it. Timing, certainly money, audience, a lot of things that we have to get in order or have fall into place, even in some cases, before we move full steam ahead with this product. So try to take the guesswork out of it as much as possible. Is it a pain point for you that other people share as well? If it's just your pain point, figure out how to fix it for yourself. But if it's a pain point for you that you find that other women, men, customers, whoever have this problem or might experience this problem, ask them, find out, and then create your MVP for that audience. You know, I just did an interview recently with Karen Young, who is the founder of We Shave, OUI Shave, which is a women's shaving product. And it started with the pain point for her with shaving and irritation. And then she began to talk to and ask more and more women about this, friends and family, and had them test the product. So she sort of talked about this journey of creating the MVP and then evolving it over time once she saw that people were truly interested in this and that she had tapped into a pain point that other people shared. It wasn't just her own problem. This was something that she was able to create to serve other people. And here's the thing about the MVP, if you're still kind of about the idea, because again, a lot of us come from, especially if we come from creative industries, I think, or maybe that's just my background. Coming from a creative industry, you want it to be beautiful. You want it to be near perfect, if not perfect. You want it to be attractive. All of these things that we want products or whatever we put out, our services even, to be and feel like we have the big vision for it. So it's difficult sometimes to think about, how can I do the minimum with this just to get this out there? Here's the thing I want you to think about. It saves time, money, energy, and focus when you hone in on your MVP, your minimum viable product. So the product that is at its essential core to serve the audience and show them what the potential is, right? I love potential. What the possibility is for this product or service that you've created. But you want to save yourself because you're busy. You're an entrepreneur. You probably have 20 other ideas. How can you save the most time, money, energy, and focus while you test this new idea and put it out in the market and decide if you are going to persevere or pivot? That's the main thing. Are you going to persevere or pivot? And you know, outside of all of this, I'm not sharing this just so you know what an MVP is. What I really want to encourage you to do is think about the fact that if you know now that you don't have to create the perfect product or have the perfect service or have the perfect website, the perfect landing page, I'm going through this trying to get over my own anxiety and hangups around, it needs to be perfect. The video has to look like this and this has to look like that and sound like this. No, MVP, so that I can get feedback from you all. So you know I'll be asking feedback from you all. Is this working for you? It's not even that it's good enough. Is this working? Does this hit the mark? And what else can I add to this? So for you, I want you to know that focusing on your MVP removes excuses of not trying. Because a lot of us can use the idea that this thing isn't perfect or isn't there yet or isn't big enough yet or fill in the blank yet. And it gives us a reason, so we think it's really an excuse to not go for it. But it's time to put your MVP out there. No more holding it up. You have no more excuses. How can you get this thing done this weekend or this week or by the end of the month? But give yourself a launch date for that thing without thinking about the fact that it has to be perfect by then. Do launch date, right? This is the day that you're going for it. You're going to let it go. You're going to put it out there. Don't worry about the people who you think will care that it's not perfect. Most of those people are focused on their own thing. They don't even care. And if they are focused on that, those probably aren't even your customers, because your customers will be the ones who want more. They won't say, oh, this is kind of shabby. It doesn't really work. I don't like it. I don't want this thing. If it's something that people want, they're going to want to tell you how to improve, to make it better, and that they want more. I have experienced that as well. Thank goodness. People saying, how can I buy something from you? How can I get this? When are you going to set this up? just send it to me. I mean, it literally is like that now. So for you, get it out there. People don't know what they want from you until they have some glimpse of it, or they start to see it, or you put something out there for people to get excited about, or for them to say, hey, that doesn't work. I was looking for this. And then you get to decide, but you're deciding based on some feedback. Feedback is information, right? It's not a definite yes, definite no. You get to decide what you do with that information, but you don't gather that information if you have nothing out there. So focusing on your MVP, I want you to say, this is my MVP. What is the minimum viable product that I can create, or the minimum viable service? So if you have something, say you want to open a salon and you have a particular new technique that you want to try in this salon, say the salon is based on this whole technique. Maybe you get a small focus group of people and say that you're going to do this style and get them to give you feedback on, maybe feedback of how they felt with it, or feedback what they got from other people, or did other people ask them about it. See if there's some interest. So whether it's a service or a physical product, there is a way for you to focus on the minimum viable product and get it out there. Get it out of your hands and into the world, because you are creating something sexy up to something big. But I know, and it's reality. This is why I speak about it, because I know about it, because I've been through it. We get stuck, and I am guilty of that. If I don't give myself a date, this is going to happen by this date. Other than an act of God, nothing is going to stop me from doing this thing. You have to be on it like that. Push yourself to make it happen, to get it out there. The world is waiting on you to show up. I know you all have great things in mind, but you feel stuck. You know what you want to do, but you're afraid to do it. All of that might be normal, but you can get through it. Focus on your MVP. Get it out there into the world. Get feedback. Iterate, make changes, and continue to grow and make it into that thing, that experience, that service, that product, whatever you want it to be. But you gotta get out there. You gotta be in the arena playing the game. All right, so hopefully this was a little push for you today. Get out there, think about what you really need to make this thing happen, just to get it out into the world, and then start actively getting feedback on it. And let me know what you're up to. You know, you can email me, Elayne at ElayneFluker.com. Contact me on social media at Elayne Fluker and at Support is Sexy. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know if you need some support. You know I'm here for you. All right, so thank you so much for listening. I look forward to talking to you soon. And until next time, you know what to do. Go out there and create something sexy. Create your MVP. And I'll talk to you later. Take care.